Complete boot camp for ds106 is quite the challenge. I know. I'm Alan Levine, online teacher this semester, responsible for all the work. This week, we continue working on our WordPress blogs, making it our own.
Harvey, want anything special for your birthday?
Just a decent cup of coffee.
In the afternoon, when things slow down, when you're wondering what to do.
A lot of you are overwhelmed with this. Well, that's definitely normal.
Let's go!
Are we putting you on?
I'd like you to relax and just focus on trying new things. Is going live. Got rid of that guy in the tie. He's really cramping my style. You can call me Sergeant GIF. Sergeant GIF is your military instructor for ds106 boot camp. Sergeant GIF has been monitoring all your progress. We've seen some pretty decent turnout so far. Some of the marching is a little bit out of step. Some of you don't have the uniforms, and a few of you still are trying to hide jelly donuts in your lockers. I don't know what kind of army you think this is, but ds106 boot camp. Come to order. It's the ds106 show. I'm your host, Sergeant GIF. On the show today, me. That's it. But we're going to talk about ds106. Brian Metcalf couldn't really get his rifle. No, he couldn't get his microphone loaded. He's off rebooting his Windows machine, doing Control-Alt-*9 F-Delete, whatever it takes to reboot a Windows machine. But we're going to get ready to roll. We have someone coming into the drill field right now. I'm seeing a new private in ds106 boot camp. At least something's materializing. Apparently, the soldier decides to have their glasses off. No camera, but give me a chat. I'm pretty sure that's Jennifer out there. But if you can, just give me a shout in the chat area. Let me know what's going on. I'm going to hang here a little bit and let the rest of the platoon show up, who will. Again, this is completely optional for my students, except when I tell you it's not optional. That's the way we roll here in the ds106 boot camp. Boot camp will be over by Sunday. Boot camp will be over by Sunday. And I know there will be great cheering and more of that along the land. But boot camp will be over on Sunday. Hello, Private Bell.
Hey. I'm trying to turn off my sound on my instant messenger, otherwise we're going to hear TARDIS noises for now.
Yes, that is. There are a few more soldiers showing up on field. Sergeant Rhymes, attention! Very good formation on this cold, blustery day in the North Pole. How are you, Sergeant Rhymes? Kind of silent, the strong silent type. Welcome to the ds106 show, where all holds are barred.
The troops are a little chilly up here, but we've got our hot cocoa.
All right,
That's
no complaint.
Boost morale.
No complaining. I ousted the dude with the tie. He's just not up to military snuff. I'm Sergeant GIF. I am your drill instructor. I will animate you. I will make you creative. I will make you stronger, funnier, more popular. Maybe your breath will smell better.
Sign me up for 3.
Sign you up for 3. So this is week 2 of ds106. We're going through boot camp, and I'm going to just kind of cruise through a little bit of my students' progress. We have one of my students, actually 2. Nancy is there with a camera. And Jennifer is there with a blank screen, but I'm assuming that perhaps she is listening. I don't know if she's chatting in the side at all, but that's it. So with a little bit of pizzazz here, let's see if I can get my windows lined up. Ben is Ben Rhymes, who is a frequent ds106 groupie who's been a lot of help for us and participating in all kinds of way throughout at least the past year, right, Ben?
Yeah. Hold on. Am I still there?
Yeah, you're still here.
Okay, my computer's doing funny stuff. Yeah, I was actually just looking back through my archive of ds106 posts, and it stretches back to, I want to say, 2011, the summer of 2011.
All right, yeah. Well, you came on strong, and you actually your silent movie made it to the cover of a London tabloid, which is to me one of the high water marks of ds106. And Nancy over there, my student on my right, is actually coming on strong already. She's pushing us hard to do subreddit, and she's kind of taking that over. And I'm going to ask her to talk about that in a second.
Okay.
But I'm going to do a little bit of review of the troops here, which are the new ds106 student blogs, and just kind of run through some things that I saw this week. So already the blogs are obviously diverging in terms of students experimenting with their templates. This is Leah's digital storytelling blog, and she's kind of got a nice little bubbly theme going there. She's got her first couple posts. She had for her intro video, the Daily Create one, she actually played with it and actually had kind of a dark tale of these two coins. I can sort of recommend watching it. Pretty entertaining. So Cole is pretty new, so this is kind of, students just getting that default blog, but he's got all his stuff going in terms of things he was expected to write. He's got to work on his embeds a little bit, but he'll be definitely top of his task list this week should be changing the name. I don't want to see anything called My Blog, but they'll be learning how to do some of the settings in the control panel. Alice has this kind of unique theme that she picked up that really kind of helps to foreshadow a lot of her graphics things. So she's been doing these animated drawings, which are really quite beautiful. Her time-lapse drawing for that Daily Create was really something completely beyond what I expected in the way of telling a story, and that was exactly the kind of stuff I like to see is when students are pushing that boundary. Then we have Tiffany with this kind of theme of the fandom princess, and we have two princesses among the troops with kind of princess themes. And her first blog post, she already kind of leapt into sort of assuming a character. So she writes it from the point of view of her being this princess and about how her parents had to, send her to this class and be able to join. And so she's already doing some great writing with her blog. So injecting a character, which is not required, but I like the use of playing with a narrative voice. She's got her video embedded and her Twitter stuff embedded. So Tiffany is Tiffany Sharp, and she is definitely sharp. And then next we have Casey, who in the time I looked at, her blog has already changed up her theme, which is on the tails for this week. So she swapped out that default theme, has this kind of nice modern one with the big graphic, and kind of a more of an interesting typeface. So I'm liking the style of what Casey's doing here. And she pretty much got everything done on the first one in terms of embedding the media and the video. We went back and forth a little bit with her inability to embed the tweets, and finally figured out that she has her tweets protected, which of course then you can't embed publicly. So I'm not going to force my students to have public tweets. It definitely increases their ability to engage more in the public dialogue, but if they really insist on privatizing their tweets, they'll have to do screenshots and do those sort of things, but they'll miss out on sort of the ways to aggregate. Hey, Ms. Parker has just done an awesome job with her blog here, and this is Brooke's blog. Really, I've not seen this theme before. It's got this little kind of a worm that drops down. It's got this fish theme. She has 3 animated GIFs in her first post, so she warmed my heart. Doing the things which I had to remind a couple of my students is that I'm going to be looking a lot in their blog post for hyperlinks. It's really important to provide links, not just for the sakes of linking, although it's what makes the web a web is hyperlinks, but a lot of students will talk about, they'll write the Robert Hughes video said blah, 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 which is fine. I know what the Robert Hughes video is. You know what the author knows what Robert Hughes video is. But if some other person finds this blog, they have no context about what this video is you're describing. So you need to connect your blog to the things that support it, that are relating to it, that would help people understand it if they come across it. It's got to sort of stand on its own as a piece of media. She has requesting the highest of fives, and Brooke definitely achieved it this week on her blog. Sarah Park, I love what she did playing with her name, Sarah Park. She has Waiting for the Spark, and kind of set up this nice, kind of sparse blog, but I like the layout of it. And she did a nice job in talking about one of the videos and drawing this analogy to a class exercise they did and kind of problem solving, how they had to balance these 12 nails, and it was kind of connecting it to the Kelly Anderson video of kind of coming to a unique point of solving problems. She's got her videos embedded. She's got her tweets embedded. I was really excited to see all the videos that everybody did this week. Speaking of videos, Amber, she's like a YouTube star with her voice acting stuff. And look at this, Ben. She's already got the animated GIF going, which is the challenge for this week. So she figured out how to get the video into Photoshop, pick out the frames, and has the Django stare going for you Tarantino fans. So Amber's got her blog going. She also actually really has the multiple blog setup now going on. So she's got a different blog running at her top domain as sort of her welcome page and a ds106 subdomain, which our students are going to be working on this week. Then we have Farouz with Save the Pandas, and I thought the pandas were cute, and it is a really nice design that she has going here, and she has her video, and it's like it's her first video, and she's telling this great story about how her father was born, gave her this Nirvana T-shirt. I'm still waiting to question out. I told him to fabricate a story, and I'm trying to imagine this 20-year-old T-shirt that this young woman has. But she has a real interest. She's going to be working for, or is working for Greenpeace, and has this kind of interest in sustainability. So she's got this nice panda theme going right here. And then we have Kelsey, who likes to run. I won't hold that against her because I hate running. And already in the time since I looked at her blog last night, she's got the new theme going here. She's already got a new blog post for this week, so she's writing really good. She's got her hyperlinks going. She's got her videos, etc. All looking good. She probably does have to stop center aligning stuff. It's a WordPress editor, unless it's intentional. It could be a design thing. And then our other princess, Confessions of a Future Disney Princess. So far the longest, Carissa's blog. She's got the Disney theme going. So she's already changed up her theme again in the time that I saw. She's got good hyperlinks going on. She did this great kind of funny video of a story about her and her sister setting up the obstacle cups course in her house. Lara too with her amateur hour blog. So she's changed up. Looks like she's gone. That's not the 2011 theme. That's a different theme. Pinboard. So already again in a day or two, you can see how different the students are looking. Everybody's talking about how hard Bootcamp is. Yeah, it's hard. But they're all accomplishing it. They're doing great stuff. And this is all the foundation work that's going to allow them to be able to really focus on the rest of their time here of creating stuff. And everybody who said it was hard actually figured out a lot of hard things in a short amount of time. I know it's challenging and things aren't working and the subdomain is in the wrong place and the thing isn't embedding, but just that process of struggling is to me something that's really important to be able to learn. I really like Dylan's blog name. His last name is Gott, so he's Oh My Gott. And he talked in his blog post about how he's not creative, but then he tells this really funny story he made up about how his parents induced him to do things with hot sauce. So I kind of like his attitude there. He's going to have a fun time. Then we got Jennifer, who's there, I think, without the camera, but she's got some wild themes going here, and she's got some definite blogging chops in terms of she's got other blogs that she's been working on. She's been doing creative stuff per day. And I needed to confirm this. She said twice that this is the first video that she ever did. She did this beautiful stop animation video for her introductory thing, and it was gorgeous. She's writing in kind of a personal voice, which is what I really hope to see. So definitely Jennifer is off and running. Chelsea's new student came on late, but actually in about 2 days, with a little bit of struggle, she got everything set up. So she's got Cha-Cha Chelsea style kind of as her name. She's got kind of a nice writing style. Pretty much has everything here done. Needs to get the video embedded, but she's already customized her blog. Brittany, same thing. She's got really nice write-ups. Her video was a great story. She's got everything embedded. She's got her categories set up. Definitely doing good. Caitlin, she's on the roll too, and probably within a couple days she might have a different theme. They don't have to use a different theme, students. If you want to keep this theme, it's a really solid theme. You can do a lot with it. But there are some things that I'll show in the Open Lab on Thursday that you can do, such as adding a graphic header. You can see she's already changed the color background. It's a very flexible theme that WordPress puts on by default. Nancy, who's here in the room, she's definitely someone with blogging chops, so she jumped right in. She's got her tags going. She's got this really nice theme. She's got her embeds. She's doing the funny story. God, that was a really good story she told for her opening with her brand new camera. Nancy's going to have fun this class. And Confused Easily, I love the name, Jasmine. A lot of students here are talking in the very opening about, I read a lot of statements about, oh, I do a lot on social media, but man, this other stuff is really hard. But all of them really rose to the task. And again, I want to remind you guys, especially my students who are out there, and hello to Alice who's just coming in, how much that you really accomplished in a short period of time. I just was away and I'm looking at all the, I see all the screens going on. So Nancy's saying she learned today that what version of Photoshop you might need imagery to do the GIFs. That is probably true. We will go over a number of ways to do the GIFs. I use Photoshop. I'm CS5. Which definitely does a nice job on it, but there's you can also do quite a bit. It's kind of clumsy in the GIMP, but we're definitely going to be banging our heads on different ways to do the GIF. Probably just the GIF is for the exporting, but that is pretty important. So crafty looking, that's Jennifer. Hello, you're rocking the CSS as well. Photoshop Elements, yeah, that does GIFs. I really hope a lot of times first-time students, they're going to go to some of the web tools like GIF Soup or GIF Ninja, which are kind of fun to get your first GIF done, but you don't really get to do the kind of a real super creative and powerful things that you can do for actually getting in and to manipulating stuff in layers and controlling the compression and doing things that really work within was actually quite a limited platform to be creative in because of you're trying to make the files not too big. You're trying to make them interesting. You're trying to capture something. And this is something that Martha and I tried as an experiment last semester, and we thought it was kind of crazy at first, and I still do, where we give you this boot camp assignment and don't tell you how to do it. So it doesn't matter if you can't figure out how to make a GIF. It matters that you try this week. We're going to come back to GIFs, and we will give you some more instruction on how to do this. But we really want to push this idea about pushing your own boundaries and trying to take on the challenges of things that might not seem quite easy. So that is what ds106 is all about. So that was my review of the troops. We got a bunch of people here, and Ben, maybe as someone who's done ds106, been around a little bit. I mean, what's some really good advice to give people who are just kind of brand new to this?
The only advice that I might give with any sort of credence would be to go with what you're comfortable with, go with what's familiar and where your interests lie as you create things. Like Amber's video is great; she does the voice talent stuff, so she went with that. When I got into it, I started doing a lot of I did some Ghostbusters things, some animated GIFs and things like that, just because I like 80s pop culture. But if you start with something that you like and you're familiar with, then you're able to produce something that at least, even if you don't like it technically, you should enjoy the subject matter. What do you think, Ella? Do you agree?
Hi, Ella. Attention! All children at attention! Just kidding. She's like, that's weird. I think what you're saying is like a lot of students will like focus on like a particular theme, like we got a couple of our people want to focus on princesses, or you with your games or 80s movies, in terms of things that you're interest to build your content about. So sometimes I pick like one movie or some movie genre each semester and kind of build a lot of my assignments. I did Westerns one semester. You don't have to do that, and we see some of our students even in their blogs, like the Fandom Princess, kind of using that as almost like a character. And next week when we start storytelling, Ben, I have Todd Conway lined up to come and talk about how he's someone at another college, like Ben, who's an outsider, who usually when he does ds106, he actually invents a character for himself, builds a brand new blog, and sort of becomes that character in the work that he does and on Twitter. It's not required. It's not essential. It's just an option for people if they want to play with that sort of sense of reality. Yeah, Nancy's talking about working with her with your senior theme. You want to talk about this some, Nancy?
Okay, so I'm a gender studies major. There's, I think, 14 of us, 15 of us now, and so I do a lot of just kind of random work. But I really like masculinity and stuff like that. But my senior project blog I can link to it in the chat in a minute. I'm doing articles about different aspects of it. So, like this week, I've been working on public nudity, because there was a public nudity issue in Fredericksburg. So that's getting written as we speak. And then I'm not sure what I'm doing next week. And maybe Honey Boo Boo. That's going to come up at some point.
That's cool. So again, perfectly relevant. It's not double dipping to work with something you're working on in another class, because you could be, kind of getting the benefits to both sides there. So on one hand, yes, go with your interests, but also in terms of the stuff that we're asking you to do, you guys know already who are here and who might be watching. We're asking you to do a lot of stuff that you've never done before, that you might not like before. Nearly everybody, and I read about 5 blog posts today when they talked about setting up SoundCloud, said the thought of doing sound, they hate doing sound. Audio, most people do not like audio before they've ever done it. This happened last semester, and to a student, all of them, once they did a little bit of audio editing and mixing, really almost came to not love it, but really have a whole different attitude about that. So it's okay to dismiss it ahead of time. I'll let you do that, but you're going to get in there and try, and you're going to find probably audio editing is really one of the most, to me, one of the most key skills that you can use in other areas, because it's going to benefit you when you work on your videos. It's going to benefit you in other projects where maybe instead of just recording a single audio into a microphone, you're going to know how to edit and mix things and know how to layer stuff. We're going to talk a lot when we get into different things about the power of creating media in layers. It works in graphics to be able to create sophisticated things by knowing how stuff stacks visually on top of each other. It comes into audio as you learn to recreate a soundscape that is more than a single sound at a time by layering sounds. And of course in video, when you learn to lay things like, well, cheap layering. I got a little title effect on my screen like Ben does. But when you get into editing movies, the ability to put things on top of each other to create a more complex scenery adds a lot to your story. So it's something in the background to keep in mind. But like when I know at the end of the week, as I was like reading some of the students' first things and listening to them, I was thinking, man, is it too much? I mean, we're pushing a lot on these kids, creating the blogs, creating subdomains. I have to create 2 blogs. I have to create all these accounts. Then I got to do a video. Then I got to do the embed. So, and on this week, I put a lot of things on the list to do. Not all of them are required, but they're going to be things that are going to help your blog in the long run, especially if you set up categories to organize your post. I think it's natural that people want to start changing the look of their blogs, and that's already happening to a great degree. But all this stuff, which is kind of weird and unusual now, pay off in the next 13 weeks when you're publishing a lot. You're going to be publishing, some students publish anywhere from 80 to 140 blog posts. So it's a lot to organize. And right now you can remember your 3rd blog post and what you wrote about. In a month it might get fuzzy. In 2 months it's going to be buried way down in your blog. Organizing stuff and being able to find it is what comes really handy. I did mention, and it's really important, and I'm going to be coming back to you, you have to be hyperlinking your writing. The web is a hypertext medium, and it's not just because I say it, it just makes it more understandable. When you write something, think about if some random person, like let's say Bill Gates, just happened to read your blog, and he's reading about this project that you did, and he doesn't know what you're talking about because you said, I did this for my assignment on week 3. How does Bill Gates know what assignment was for week 3? So when you write about other things, whether it's the ds106 content, whether it's a movie you're using as a media source, whether it's a tip you picked up from Andy Forgrave, link to it. There's a side benefit when you link to each other's blogs too, which you haven't discovered yet, is if Nancy writes a blog post about something that Jennifer did and uses a link to Jennifer's blog, when Nancy publishes, it's going to send something to Jennifer's blog called a ping or a trackback. And it's going to come in like a comment. And Jennifer's going to say, wow, Nancy wrote about my blog. That's so cool. I'm going to go check out Nancy's blog. And all of a sudden you get this kind of virtual kind of circle of connections because your blogs are notifying each other that you're linking to each other. And then we're going to get more into, and I'll step it up next week, getting in and commenting on each other's blog, talking more amongst yourselves on Twitter. I don't want to say you have to do 5. I will never say you have to do 5 comments this week to get credit. So I'm not going to be counting your comments, but I'm going to introduce a couple strategies that are going to be something to introduce more comments. And my first approach next week is we're going to form, students are going to up in small groups. They're going to be comment buddy groups. So instead of having to worry about trying to read 25 blogs, I'm going to ask you to read 3 or 4 other blogs within the class and comment on them as a group. So if you have a group of 4 people and everybody's reading and doing at least 1 comment on each post, you're going to get 3 comments at least, plus mine, etc., plus Ben and Brian. Frequent commenters. Commenters are like gold coins. So, all you guys are micless except Ben. Brian, you're still without microphone, I assume. But we're talking going on here. Yeah, links. Okay. Yeah, Eureka. Boy, I wish I could hear you, Jennifer. Brian's holding up a sign. I like it. Oh, I got to put it up here on the screen here. So let's see. I'll just listen and do my Marceau myself. Yeah. Do this. Can you do the, like I'm stuck in a box? Does anybody here hate mimes? I hate mimes. They're creepy.
Did you check out the astronaut stuff that I tweeted about? And I just put a link up to his stuff.
Not yet. I've been kind of casually following him. Tell us more.
He tweets and does stuff from space. So his SoundCloud has sounds of the astronaut toilet or ambient sounds of the space station.
So it sounds like we might be able to come up with some kind of fun remix assignments when we get to audio, right? I'm
planning on using his stuff because it's awesome.
That's cool. Well, and you suggested last week, and I think we should brainstorm how to do this, some way to get his attention to DS106. I know he was kind of a guest visitor for a class I think George Siemens was doing this week. So maybe we have to think about, maybe as we approach the visual thing, maybe some signs we can get to attract Commander Hatfield's attention.
Yeah.
So you want to tell us about the subreddit?
Okay, so I'm now a Redditor. It's kind of a bad habit sometimes because I totally do it and I'm not supposed to. But I love it. And so I was like, why don't we have a subreddit? Because I'm on Reddit way too much. So somebody had set one up, and Daniel and I kind of took it over last week. So my thought is to use it to communicate better. There it is. Among students, we can post tutorials. I threw one of my videos up there. I got in the cow thing that you posted was really cool. But there's only 10 of us on there now, and I feel like we need to get more people involved. But my
yeah, I put it up on the screen. So, since you've been in Reddit a while, what do you do in Reddit? For the people who are brand new to it.
I tend to find stupid things on there to send my friends, but I also interact with people. I comment about stuff. There's boards for everything. I found a board about pickling or using yeast, and I was reading that one night because I was bored. But you interact with them and you make connections. It's pretty awesome. And then you upvote stuff. So the best stuff is at the top, and the worst stuff is at the bottom. So
would you think it's a way to have people list the things they're working on, or maybe list the things that they're finding that might be of interest for other people? I know the answer is probably all the above.
Yeah, I was honestly, I kind of wrote about it in my blog a little bit. I'm going to try to do another blog post about it tonight after my 3-hour night class. But I was thinking, like, if we found a tutorial, or like I found it, I'm probably going to link to it later, a site that will rip videos from YouTube, throw it on there, and say, hey guys, here's some resources for this week. Or if we're stuck on a project, we can ask people for advice.
Right, and if people, are upvoting the best stuff, we'll be able to filter, what either some of the best resources or best examples are, and maybe just the weird, funny stuff too, because we're really into that.
Like Amber's thing for video.
Yeah, so not necessarily. It could possibly not strictly be necessary to class. So
yeah,
that's all good. Now. Yep.
But like, I love what Timmy posted, the his thing about the domains. I thought was hysterical this week.
Yeah, what was it? I didn't look at it. I just saw the.
Click on the top post. Okay. Just click on the image.
Apparently, this device was a little bit late for post. That's very good. Yeah, if you wait till Sunday night to request a domain name, you're gonna have a bad time. Although I think we process some stuff on a Sunday night, but definitely the good advice. So glad to see so many folks out there, Jennifer and Alice. It'd be good to see you sometime. Starting in week 3 is going to become, and again, this is a new experiment with ds106 this year. There will be times when you're actually required to come on here, like Nancy, and not just kind of be here, but actually help me host the show as a way of just getting a little bit more participating in ds106. So I'll be working out those details for next week. Probably sign up within Canvas. You will have to, of course, be able to get on a computer that has a working microphone, Brian Metcalf, sorry, Windows. And also a webcam. And I know this may not be an option for all students. I know Google Hangout does work on smartphones. If that's not an option, we could probably arrange for you to do something in the DTLT office on campus, because they have a computer that you could use to do this. And if you have a real aversion to being on camera, talk to me and we'll work something out. You can. I want to remind students, a lot of people, when they have that YouTube video thing and they're like, oh my God, I hate being on camera. I mean, there are things that you can do. I don't have. You don't have to put yourself on camera, okay? You can be really creative about what you do. So if you don't want to do your video, you can still do your audio, and you can introduce maybe, you could, play a character, so, hello, this is my story about the time I put a character on there, do a stuffed animal, do sock puppets, draw something like, Alice did a drawing for her video. So again, all these assignments that we give you, you can do them literally the way we tell you to do them, or you can find a more creative or interesting way to do it. As long as you make something interesting, and you can write about it in your blog and then talk about your decisions and why you did it and what it's about, you're golden. So you don't have to do the assignments as they're written. I think Ben's going to give us a demonstration. Doth he have a prop? He went for something. Yeah, Brian's mentioning Bagman, which is one of our colleagues, Brian Short, who's at the University of Michigan, who introduced a character that he used for his entire string of ds106 assignments of a paper bag. This kind of character that he had talking on all the time. Oops, Ben's got, what's he got? Oh, he's eating! I thought you were getting a character prop. Yeah, the Bagman was creative. We're going to have Brian Short come on the show. He's not only teaching a ds106 class, he's actually an experienced radio broadcaster, and he's a producer for The Moth, which is a NPR radio show. So when we get in our radio show projects, he's going to come in and talk about how radio shows are done. And I think he's going to come next week and also when we talk about storytelling. So hopefully Bagman will be a guest next week on the ds106 show. So glad, if you folks could show up. What's that? Ben's got something there. What is that? It's like a... It's adorable. What do you call that thing? Is that like fish in a mouth? Turtle. Duh. Okay, I got to work on my my stuffed animal identification. Very good. So that's kind of all I didn't have planned for the show. Again, as you can tell, this is not really planned at all. But I intend to try to make a go of these every week. I intend to make a video intro every week, and keep on going. So if you have any questions, hey, it's a person. Wave. You can do the moose call. There we go. We know that you're there, Jennifer. Nice to see you. Thanks for dropping in. So. We'll work out some of the technical issues with Google Hangouts, etc. Yeah, she just figured it out. Yeah. Next homework is to figure out the microphone thing, but there's definitely time for that. Any questions while Sergeant GIF is in the room here? And I will give you a military answer. The unmute mock button is next to the camera. Yep. There's a camera mute button if you want to turn your camera on.
Can I just say that I'm proof that we can do all the work with a Mac with 2 gigs of memory, because I've been struggling this week because of that.
Yeah. You're probably shuffling your applications around and watching the beach balls.
I basically, it's like, do I use Instant Messenger right now, or do I do Photoshop?
Yeah. Yes. As a general rule, you can never have too much RAM. And you probably never have enough. So yeah. If you can get more, get it. But don't buy a Mac with the RAM that Apple charges. They charge you way too much for it.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to install yourself. If I can do it, anybody can do it. All right. So Brian's asking me to stay on. I'll definitely stay on. Any other questions from the studio audience for Sergeant GIF?
How do we change our colors of our links? Because that's what my hyperlinks weren't showing up because I can't figure out how to change the color.
Yeah, we'll have to look at your theme. Often in the themes there is a setting for custom CSS, and I can help you write that if you don't know CSS. It varies with different themes. If not, then we actually have to go in and do some editing of the CSS file. A lot of the newer themes allows you to override some of those. Sometimes there's a setting that allows you to change the hyperlink color, but every theme has a different suite of settings. But yeah, that's a good question, and that's something that happens a lot where students actually are doing hyperlinks, and I probably didn't see them on your blog because they're the same color as the text. So yeah. I didn't ding you that. So yeah. Don't go all points crazy on me.
I'm not. I'm good.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding. All right, so we got some points. All new Macs come with 8 gigs of RAM now. Yeah. Yeah, it depends. Maybe. Yeah, I got a pair of. I got 8 in mine. I think the new ones you can actually go up to 16. So I got 2 pairs of 8 waiting for my next computer. But yeah, Ben's your tech man. He'll supply you. That's all good. Anybody else out there? Thanks for coming in. This is really fun when there's people here. I have no problem being goofy on a camera by myself, but having an audience just steps up the pressure that much more. So again, most students felt like this was like an overwhelming week, which it is, but they survived it. They're in good shape. There's more work of sort of experimenting this week with the blog setup. The following week, just to give you a heads up, we're going to kind of introduce and get into this question about what is storytelling, what's storytelling on the web. It's not going to be as much kind of intensive with messing around with things like we had to do on our blog. There'll be some more videos to watch, a little bit of stuff to create, but it's really going to be an introduction to begin the sense about What is the story? Why is that turtle wiggling? He appears to be happy in the house of Ben Rhymes, but maybe that turtle is sending us a distress symbol. Symbol, single, signal, 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 signal. So, you know, Turtle Talk says, come rescue me. I want to live in Arizona where it's warm. I've been teasing Ben about his weather today because it's like crazy warm here, and he's subarctic, so I think we're going to get a window view out there. Oh, that's so pretty. That's nice.
Don't. Okay, so here's my. I have to go, but here's my parting piece of advice. Don't be afraid to mess up a whole bunch. You see this right here? These are the half dozen snowballs that I threw at my house, trying to capture the perfect video that I could tweet out to Alan, so I could virtually reach out and smack him in the face with a snowball today.
Ben, even if your aim was good, I can duck, man, and they would melt before they even got near my face.
Whoa!
All right, well, take care, everybody. Thanks for coming. It's cold in Fredericksburg and wherever you are, and have a great second week of boot camp and playing around. If you got this done, people are already doing some really groovy stuff with the blog, and I could not be more excited and happy as a teacher of this class. It's really fun. So next week on ds106 Show, we're going to have some guests, possibly Brian Alexander. I think Brian Short, Todd Conway will be talking about what is storytelling, and it's going to be a blast. So ending the broadcast now, I will hang out, Brian, and hang out if you want to check your settings. And the show is off the air.